Hi, hello. I'm so sorry I disappeared. I thought I was gonna do so much better at this YouTube thing, but honestly, too much is happening. So this is an update on not only publishing, but what's going on with me in general. And just to summarize, I'm burnt out. I feel like falling apart. I just want to cuddle in a blanket and watch TikToks and do absolutely nothing else. No, I don't even want to watch TikToks because everything's so highly political right now because of the falling apart of the United States. So I just honestly want to just stare at a wall. Last year in September, I got fired from my job. And we are in February and I still don't have another job despite the fact that I'm actively looking. Luckily, I live in Canada and we have social assistance, so I am getting unemployment. And the unemployment, because I made so much in my last job, it's enough for me to get by comfortably. So I'm not going to say that I was necessarily pressed for a job, but every job that's kind of giving me an opportunity would be paying me as much as I get on unemployment. So I'm not chomping at the bit to kind of go with them. I'm trying to find something that's similar to what I had before, but also not as stressful. So you would think not having a job, I would just be very chill. I would have all this free time. I'd be okay to relax. Everything would be good. But I don't know why I felt so much pressure to still stay busy despite the fact that I didn't have a job. I was like, I don't have a job, which means now I have time to keep up with my house. I have time to be a full-time writer. I have time to work on marketing. I have time to read as many books as I can. And instead of it being an enjoyable time, I quite literally turned it into a job itself. I have one of those team management apps where you can set different tasks and events for yourself and check-in dates, and I pretty much broke down everything I wanted to accomplish this year, including YouTube and publishing books and working on certain drafts and reading and everything, and I made actual to-do lists and schedules and everything like that. And now that I've started school, because I was going back to school even before I got fired, everything feels too much. And I am burnt out. And I really don't want to do anything. And every time I get to my desk and sit down and start working on marketing materials or writing or editing or just engaging with people in general, I feel like I want to cry. I feel like I want to cry. And that makes me feel like a failure because this is always what I thought I wanted. And it's not to say that I don't. I think I just have to stop taking it so serious. Just unfortunately for me, I'm publishing a book in 2 months. So Steamy on Set, my debut novel, is coming out April 21st. I have ARCs, which are advanced reader copies, going out March 17th. And I have to pretty much have the book complete, formatted, uploaded, and ready to go by March 10th. And child, whew, is that a lot? And I think part of the reason I'm freaking out is because there's this idea that I have to do this every year. Because if I'm going to be self-publishing, I need to be putting out a book, 1 or 2 books every year. And this book, Steamy on Set, took me 3 years to do. And a lot of the heavy lifting I've done in the last year or so. So it is possible, but I just had this slow time to get to know the story and build upon it and change it and get feedback on it. And now I'm working on the second book in the series, and I was hoping to release it February 2026. And now the idea of doing that puts so much more pressure on it. But let's talk about Steamy on Set. First off, I'm still looking for ARC readers, so if that's something that interests you, the link is in my bio. I ended up finding about 70 people so far who are interested, which honestly came about from me complaining. So I like to talk about the journey as it's happening on Threads. And I thought getting ARCs were going to be so easy. I was like, oh, as a reader, I love getting free books. I sign up for every ARC that I see. It's such a big deal for me to be able to read somebody's book just as it comes out. So I thought getting ARC readers was going to be so easy. And I posted it and I got 0. And I started freaking out and I posted on Threads I thought getting ARCs was going to be easy. How come people don't want to read a free book? And then I got like a huge response, and like literally 60 people signed up for my ARC in the span of like 2 days. So I got very, very lucky. Now, slowly I've gotten 10 more, but that's like whatever. So that was stressful, trying to find ARCs. What's also stressful is trying to get pre-orders. And what's super stressful is having to format this book. So all this stuff is going on at the same time. And in the meantime, I have to be finding creative ways to market and do social media. And the people I follow, absolutely amazing. Lena James, Evelyn Lee, like I could go on and on about the creativity that these authors have and making you interested in their books. And I just don't know why they're not bigger, because they do so much work. And it's so much work to self-publish. Like if you're thinking about self-publishing, it's so much work. Like it's not just writing the book and editing the book and formatting the book. You are the main team of everything. Like you're the proofreader, you're the marketer, you're the publisher, you're everything. You're your admin team. Like you do it all. And I'm tired. But Steamy on Set, it's coming out April 21st. For the most part, I have everything under control, but the way I feel right now, the type of burnout I feel, I would just like to sit and do nothing, absolutely not a single thing, just watch reality TV nonstop for a month. And typically that's what I would do on top of working, and just not touch anything, but like that's not possible. I have so much I have to do, and I have so many deadlines that I have to meet that I can't break down at this. And so that's what's going on with Steamy on Set. Once again, if you want to be an ARC reader, it's down below. It's a great book. Obviously, I feel that way, but honestly, a lot of people say it's a great book who read it. So if you want a plus-size romance, then you should sign up for the ARC. See? Terrible at selling my book. There's so many things I know about my book, but my elevator pitch is trash, and trying to pinpoint the great scenes about it to like showcase, absolute trash. You would think when you're marketing a book, you would think that you know nothing about the book. Like I've read this book at least 50 times. I couldn't tell you a single thing that's catchy about this book. I don't even know any like great lines from the book, and I don't understand how that's possible, which then makes me feel like the book is going to fail, because obviously there's nothing like absolutely that makes it stand out. And then I just thought spiral. So that's what's going on with Steamy on Set. So I have the pressure of that, of the release coming up and having to get everything done before the end of March. And then on top of that, I've signed up for some book fairs, like in-person book events, which probably wasn't a good idea when you only have one book, but I was so excited to do it that I just signed up. And the table fees, the one that's happening in my city, Windsor, Ontario, which is a small city, was $180 for the table. I don't think anybody's going to sell enough books to make back that table fee. Like, I don't know why I'm doing it. I think I'm just doing it so I can say I did it. But I don't think I'm going to make back the table fee or the fee to, like, order the books. Like, it's just, I'm not making it back. But it'll be a good experience. So, I'm rambling. On top of Steamy on Set, I have Project Dance and Drive, which is the second book to Steamy on Set that I want to release on February 28th. Is that going to happen? Only God knows at this point, because you know what? I gave myself 3 months to work on the second draft. The second draft of Steamy on Set, I gave myself a year. You see the difference? 3 months is not enough. When you realize that you have fundamental developmental issues with your book, you cannot solve that in like a month or two to give yourself a solid month to do line editing. And I know that I'll do other drafts of this book, but I don't have enough time to have multiple people review the book. So after the second draft, I have to send it to alpha readers. After I get it back from alpha readers, I have to do the third draft within like a month. Then I need to send it for manuscript critique. Then I need to get it back. Then I need to send it for a line edit. Then I need to get it back. Then I need to send it for a copy edit. Like, these are the steps to publishing a book. And then I have to format the book. And meanwhile, while I'm doing all of this, I have to be marketing and trying to find things like ARC readers. And then I also want to do book boxes or a few physical ARCs. I have to try and get my book into some stores, which means I'm going to be calling around. I have to get it onto like a certain platform for stores to be able to buy it. And the idea that I have to do this for the rest of my life while also having a job, I don't know how I'm going to do it. I honestly think that being fired was a blessing, because I don't think I would have been able to accomplish everything that I've accomplished if I still had that stressful job. Like, that job was making my hair fall out. That's how stressful it was. I was crying every day. I was taking clozapams to stop panic attacks. Like, it was a very terrible job for me. And I don't think I would have had the energy to accomplish anything that I've accomplished thus far. And I have accomplished stuff. Like, I am proud of myself. Like, getting 70 ARC readers is really great. I have 23 pre-orders, which a lot of them are for my friends, but still, that's really great. I made those friends on social media. These are other authors who believe in my story enough that they're going to buy it. So accomplishing those things, I grew my Threads platform to about 1,700 followers. My Instagram, I built 300 followers from August till now. Like, the stuff I'm doing is working. Just the idea of maintaining it while publishing books, stressed. I'm burnt out. I'm stressed. I just want to cry. I had so many great video ideas for YouTube, and the energy to sit down and do them, because they require like research and planning and like, not a script, but like an idea of what I want to say. And instead you're getting this mouth vomit, I want to give up, life is hard video. But publishing is not for the weak. It's not. It's not for the weak. Self-publishing, I think a lot of people think that self-publishing is the easy route and you're taking the easy path, but I honestly think it's so much harder than traditionally publishing. Like, I think traditionally publishing is more disheartening because you have to receive rejection letters off of your baby, and even if you do get a agent, then you might like die on submission. You might not get your book to actually being published, and then when it is being published, you get disappointed by all these different things, and then obviously a lot of things play into it. So publishing either way is really hard, but I think people underestimate how much work goes into self-publishing. And obviously you don't have to do all of this. You don't have to do as much marketing. You don't have to do ARC readers. You don't have to do the amount of editing that I did. Like, I have 2 editors, one for copy editing, one for line editing, one for manuscript critique. Like, the line editor also does a manuscript critique. Like, obviously you don't have to do all of this, but I wanted to do it because I want to put out the best product that I possibly can, which also means that I'm spending a lot of money. Like, so far, I've spent like probably $2,000 on this book, and there's no way I'm going to make it back. And I'm okay with that because I didn't plan on making any money on this book. It was honestly just about putting my work out there. But continuing down this path and building, I'm hoping that at some point I get to the point where I am making the money back. But I say all of that to say self-publishing is not easy, and give grace to self-published authors because there's so much that they're doing to get this book out there, and they don't have a team backing them up. So what am I going to do? I can't stop. I can't stop at all. And I thought reading would help. So I've been putting aside like 2 to 3 hours to read, but then that's just stressing me out because after a certain point as a writer, I don't know if this is everybody but me, I just keep comparing my book, especially to other self-published books, especially to self-published books that do well. I'm like analyzing what they've done versus what I've done to see if I'm doing the right things to make sure that I get to the point that they got to. And then I don't even find myself enjoying the book. So reading has become not enjoyable. Plus, because I'm not working, I thought I had like no excuse not to read a bunch of books. Like, my reading goal last year, I didn't reach. It was 70 books. And this year, I'm like so determined to reach that goal. And I feel like I need to be reading every day. Like, I don't have a reason not to read. I shouldn't be stressed out. I have the time. I manage my own schedule. But I don't. I do not. So I start my day with school. That's about 4 hours. Then I spend about an hour or 2 making marketing materials or being on social media, engaging with people. Then I spend about an hour or 2 editing, working on the second draft of the story. And then I take a break, eat dinner, clean my house because I told my fiance I would take on more house stuff because I'm not working, which was a poor life choice. And then when all of that's said and done, I'm tired and I still have to be drafting other stories. Like, I have deadlines for other stories. And the crazy part is I've mapped out what I want the next 4 years to look like publishing wise. And I thought I'd be publishing 2 years a book. And when I looked at my to-do list for each month this year, I realized I had to cut some stuff out because there was just way too much that I was doing. And that's part of the reason I'm stressed out. Like, I had I think 4 different stories that I worked on in January. 2 of them, one of them I was outlining, 2 of them I was drafting in, and one of them I was editing. And I don't need to be doing all of that, but yeah, just be prepared for me to release a book every 2 years. Just be prepared for me to like not be consistent, because I don't know how I'm going to fight through this. I don't. I have to figure out a way to keep going, and I just don't have it in me. And this is with me taking weekends off. Like, I don't fully take weekends off, because I'm not saying I don't enjoy writing. I enjoy drafting. So sometimes over the weekends I will draft. But I guess it's more so the editing and the outlining that's getting me. I hate editing every step of the way. Even like just going from my first draft to my second draft, like just making changes, deleting things breaks my heart. And realizing how flawed something is like just so discouraging. So that's terrible. And then actually editing stuff that my editor tells me I need to edit. Like, all of this, I'm rambling. The point being, there's just so much that goes into publishing a book, and I'm tired. But I promise you, I won't disappear again. And my next video, I'm going to introduce myself to AuthorTube. I've just kind of been making videos, and I didn't introduce myself at all. I introduced myself on BookTube, and I have some really interesting videos for that, that I believe like are book recommendation books and things like that. So I'm going to be filming those. But yeah, this is just a quick explanation about why this is absolutely hell. But anyway, if you got to this point, you're amazing. I don't even know what this was. So thank you for tuning in. Look out for my AuthorTube introduction. And if you do want to read a book for free, a good book for free, then sign up for the ARC. It's not too late. They don't go out till March 17th. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day, and I hope your next book is a 5-star read.